Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, shalom. Can you hear me? Can you let me know if you can hear me? Not too sure if this is coming through. All right. Hey, so can you hear me? I don't know what's going on with this. So can you hear me? All right. Yeah, I just have to do it this way. I'm trying to use my microphone, but for some reason it's not connected. Just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. All right, testing, testing. Slocky, can you just let me know if you can hear me one more time? Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna start off again. All right, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bashem Yahawashi, Bashem Rakakwadash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect. And like I said, before, but it was muted. I just want to go touch on some current events because there's a lot of things happening right now, and for us being being a watchman, it's our job to stay on top of these things, man. So and to give the warning to the sheep so you could be aware as well, right? Today is October 1st, and that's why I titled it Red October, because starting from today you have the strikes for the ports happening, right? And I have a little clip on that. Brother's been sending articles back and forth all morning and afternoon, so I got something on that. But something that was just breaking. um, Iran has fired missiles at the 48ers, right? So there's we got that. It says Iran fired more than 100 missiles. Israeli media reports. So currently happening while we're speaking, as we see missiles head toward the 48ers. What would that look like? Hey, and they've been talking about, even with just Hezbollah's missiles that they've been shooting, which were unguided rockets. They've been talking about how the Iron Dome has been overwhelmed by those missiles. Now now we know Iran has more sophisticated weaponry. As it says here, Iran officially launches ballistic missile attack on the 48ers, right? So this attack, it wasn't like the one back in April, where they basically telegraphed it and told the world what they were doing, right? This one, it happened, pretty much overnight, right? Something, it happened pretty quickly. And it's interesting how it happened. It comes, I think, either a day or two right after the prime minister visited Iran, right? The prime minister of Russia visited Iran, I want to say either yesterday or the day before. And, we know that according to prophecy, that Russia is going to be a guard unto Iran, and their allies. So, because Iran, they've been talking about how they were going to respond and retaliate to the attack, the assassination that the 48ers did back, in July, but they never did. So, there's a lot of posturing, a lot of, as Yahawashi said, let me pull that up. There were going to be wars and rumors of wars, right? So let's go into that real quick. Matthew Matthew chapter 24, verse I'm gonna start at 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? Okay, the end of this world, this age. All right, and because as it says in the book of Second Ezra, the 9th chapter, the end of this age is in signs and effects. Okay, so there's actually things that the Heavenly Father, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, has ordained to take place on the earth to show that it's the end of this age, right? The signs in the heavens, right? You have uh uproars of the people, earthquakes, signs in the earth, signs in the suns, and in the sun, lunar eclipse, solar eclipse. All these things are signs that the Lord gave, really for the elect to be to be aware of the time that we're in, which is why it says in Second Ezra, the 9th chapter, that we are to do what? Measure the time diligently. So reading on verse 4, it says, and Yahawashi answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right? Let's go into this word rumors. Let's see what it has for that. It says rumors, the sense of hearing, hearsay, right? Instructions, a thing heard. And since what, 2022, there's been, oops, what I just do? There's been signs, there's been rumors of wars, and especially, since that time from, when Russia and Ukraine, started to get things going on. And then from last year, right, October 7th, which is interestingly enough, when this whole thing happened with the 48ers, it started back in October 7th of last, yes, October 7th of last year. And now, coming up on a year later, which that year went by fast, you got things intensifying to the point now where Iran is going toe to toe directly with the 48ers, which, like I said, these are all things that are prophecy, man. right? That's why, you know, it's important to be occupied in prophecy. So it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled. And that's the thing. See that ye be not troubled, because to the uninitiated, right, to the ones who are not in the know, right, that are not in the body of Yahawashi, these things are troubling. These things are scary. These things are fearful. But the Lord, right, he didn't give us the spirit of fear. And that is tied to him giving us the spirit of knowledge, right, and wisdom and understanding. Because we have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these times and why these things are taking place, that actually removes, right, the spirit of fear. People are fearful because they don't understand the counsel of the Lord, right? They don't understand the purpose that Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi has purposed. So that's why Yahawashi said, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay. And that is why we know that, yeah, we get excited about these things taking place, but we know that Yahawashi isn't, about to come tomorrow, right? There's other prophecies that have to be fulfilled before the actual end. But remember, these are the signs of Yahawashi's coming and the end of the world. So if these things are taking place now, that lets us know that we are at the end. All we have to do is just, endure, right? It says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there should be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Now, speaking of the famines, and I'm gonna get back to the to this page, because you can literally just scroll down your Twitter feed, and there's a bunch of information coming in. But speaking of the famines, where was it at? Where is it at? Oh, okay, right here, right? So this came out today. Like I said, you have the strike happening from the longshoresmen, right, on the East and Gulf Coast ports. So it says 50,000 members of International Longshoresmen Association on strike, stopping operations at East and Gulf Coast ports, potentially will paralyze as much as half the nation's seaborne trade volumes, as well as trucks and railroad shipments. So now let's listen to this, because when you listen to this, there's certain, hold on, let me just make sure. Satan trying to hinder right now. All right, so yeah, there's certain Slovakia. Yeah, damn, I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, when you listen to this, there's certain prophecies that are tied to this, right? Mainly Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, okay, which speaks about how there's going to be a sedition among men, right? Them not regarding their kings or princes. And also, and I believe it's Second Ezra, the 6th chapter, where it talks about suddenly the storehouses shall be found empty. Okay, so now I'm gonna play this clip. It's about 1 minute and 49 seconds long. Uh-oh. Salakia. This is getting, hold on 1 second, because I just realized that the sound isn't playing. Let's go back. Let's do that.
Over the weekend, the past
Secretary of Labor Julie Sue has been terrific. She's knocking down doors. She's trying to stop this. She's trying to get us to a media where we can have a fair negotiations. It's the companies that don't want to. They don't want to sit here and be fair. So that's why we're out here fighting for our livelihood.
What more from the automation do you want? What more protections could there be?
What more?
Yeah, they have language in there now.
Not strong enough, because what happens is they come in with new technology. We just caught them in Mobile, Alabama, called Autogate, and that means the trucks are coming in and they're already checked in somewhere else and not using the checkers in the ILA. Circumventing the contract. They don't care. They don't care. It's not fair. And if we don't put our foot down now, they would like to run over us, and we're not going to allow that.
You are going to grind the economy to a halt here on the East Coast and the Gulf Coast.
No, not us. They are. Don't spin it now because you're Fox News. They're going to drive it.
But are you worried? Are you worried that this
They have the
strike?
capital to settle this thing.
Are you worried that this strike is going to hurt the everyday American, the farmers that need to reach the export market? They're
Listen,
telling me that they're going to hurt through
Now
all
you
of
start to realize who the longshoremen are, right?
Nobody cares.
People never gave a about us until now, when they finally realized that the chain is being broke now. Cars won't come in. Food won't come in. Clothing won't come in. You know how many people depend on our jobs? Half the world. And it's time for them and time for Washington to put so much pressure on them to take care of us, because we took care of them and we're here 135 years and brought them where they are today, and they don't want to share.
You see, so right there it shows you, man, these people, as the Lord said, man, uproars of the people in the world. And it's not just people just uproaring, just aimlessly. You got certain sectors of people, groups, thousands, tens of thousands of people that are uproaring, and as he is saying, as he just said, it's going to break the supply chain. Right? It's going to break the supply chain, and that's going to have an effect on, as he said, half the world, especially here in America. But the actual everyday life of your comfortabilities here in America is about to be disrupted, man. He said, what? Cars are not going to be able to come in. Food is going to stop. Right? Clothing. All these things that people are so accustomed to just easily having here in Babylon, all that is about to be taken, off, out of circulation. Okay, and then what are people going to do when you don't have these comfortabilities anymore? When you don't have these conveniences anymore? When you don't have the surplus of food and shelter and clothes and all these things, right? Hold on one second. Just got another update, so I just want to go back here. So yeah, man, you got that's being happening right now as we speak. Right, today's the first day, and there's been brothers have done videos on how they're saying that for each day that they're on strike is going to cause a 7-day disruption. Right, 7-day disruption in the whole supply chain system for each one day that they're on strike. So going back here, it says dozens of missiles flying over central Jordan across the 48ers. The event is not over yet. Second missile strike on its way. It says United States says 48ers will absolutely retaliate against Iran. Okay, so here you have Iran attacking, and this is what Netanyahu wanted, right? They wanted this because they ultimately want to go to war with Iran, but they needed the justification because they needed America's backing, and something I was just thinking about, right? As you see on the screen right here. If there is an actual war, because even Russia had basically said, right, there's a wider war could break out because of this. It says Russia calls on the 48ers to withdraw troops from Lebanon, warns ground ops will lead to more violence. Right? It says the 48ers said commando and paratroop units launched raids into Lebanon this morning as part of a limited ground incursion, while the Iran-backed Hezbollah fired a barrage of missiles into the 48ers, claiming to target an IDF intelligence base near Herzliya in central Israel. Russia strongly condemns the attack on Lebanon and calls on the Israeli authorities to immediately cease hostilities, withdraw their troops from Lebanese territories, and engage in a real search for peaceful ways to resolve the Middle East conflict, Russian foreign minister says. Now, like I said, something I was just thinking about based off of, everything that's happening, especially with the whole election, coming up, these, the so-called left, right, the Democratic Party, if there's a war, a wider war that breaks out over in the Middle East, just like how the Ukraine, right, Zelensky, they canceled the election process over in Ukraine because they was at war. That could be something that takes place here as well because of the war, right? America gets drawn into the war, a war with Iran, as it is written in the book of Jeremiah, I believe, that the least of the flock shall draw them out, right? So they get dragged into a war with Iran, but Iran also is backed by Russia. So if America gets dragged into this war before the election, they could basically just say we got to temporarily, pause the election process, right? And they're going to make it seem as though like they definitely have a plan to, bring the election process back, X, Y, and Z. But remember, the so-called Democrats, they're more, of a global, what is it called, globalist mindset, right? Whereas with Trump and the Republicans are more on a nationalistic mindset, meaning they're all about America first, America, exceptionalism, where the left is about global, the globalist, so-called elitist plan. So if they have, something happens before the election and they stop or pause the election process, this guy, Trump, Biden, he's the president, but then he steps down and she's still the vice president, technically. So then she becomes the president by default if he ends up stepping down, and the election is paused. And what do you think that's going to cause? That's going to cause uproars here in America, right? That's going to cause a civil unrest because these Republicans, they already believe that the 2020 elections was stolen from them. So if something takes place to where they cancel the elections now, they gonna feel like this election was stolen from them as well, and they're not going to just take that sitting down, right? They're not going to just be okay with that, man. And that's going, like I said, that can cause a civil unrest here in America. Okay, so there's a lot of things that a lot of snowball effects that can take place, and really we're just have to just wait and see how the Lord have all of these things unfold. But at the end of the day, we know that the effects of every vision is at hand, right? Ezekiel, the 12th chapter. Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 21, it says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have heard in the land of Israel, saying the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? Okay, because you have that, or you had that type of mindset amongst our people. All right, a lot of scoffers, a lot of people that didn't want to believe our report. They would say, y'all been talking about this. Y'all been saying this for a long time, right? The days that y'all been talking about are prolonged. They're far off. That's not going to happen in our lifetime, right? It says, tell them, therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, I will make this proverb to cease, right? And they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. So how would the Lord make this proverb to cease? Is he just going to make them, stop saying it? He's going to make them stop saying it by way of actions on the earth, by way of him bringing past all of the prophecies that he put into the mouths of the prophets, having those things come to fruition. That's how he's going to make, when somebody says, I'm going to make you eat those words, the Lord is making these people eat their words of saying that, oh, this is not going to happen in our lifetime, because it's happening right now. And these things are happening quick, man. Okay. To the point where people can't really, scoff anymore. They can't really say that this isn't, going to happen, because it's happening. Only thing people could do is just try to ignore it. Right. Or try to, continuously be distracted by other, vain BS things that are happening. But it's getting to the point where it's so, it's so much, right? It's everything is just all around where you can't even avoid it. And the thing is, if you avoid now, right? If you are trying to be, in that ignorant state now, that's a matter of life and death, right? Because there was an article that I seen. Where is it at? Did I have it up here? Yeah, right here. So this is based going back on the ports, right? There's this article where this woman said, if there's a strike, I'm just going to read through it. It says, if there's a strike, prices in the supermarkets will go up even higher, right? And this is a this is a CEO of a supermarket. So he said prices are going to go up even higher.
To get back to this looming dock strike, 44.
Hold that. Right. It says, I wasn't prepared because I didn't know about the strikes. But now that I do, I'll investigate. I'll look into it. One woman told Fox Business on Friday, I would stock up as much, not ridiculously, but at least try to get a few more items to have just in case. So you had a lot of people that are in this, mindset, right? They were in this position that they weren't prepared. But the thing about trying to be prepared for this, most people are not even aware, and especially Israelites, especially Jake, man. That's why Jacob's trouble, Jacob's trouble is going to happen ultimately, because it's the will of the Lord. But it also is because Jake is ignorant. Jake is just dumb, right? Docile, sottish. They don't pay attention to anything that is important, anything that really matters, man. Right? That's why I believe that's what Hosea 4:6. It says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Okay, a lack of knowledge is detrimental to your health, man. But Jake is not in a state of trying to seek knowledge. You had that one comedian making mockery of the Israelites. I forgot his name, but he said, all y'all do is want to gain knowledge. All y'all want to do is just gain knowledge. I can't eat knowledge, right? I can't make money off of that. See, and that's Jake's mind, that they'd rather be dumb and make money, make these FRNs than to have actual knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Right. But what the scripture says, that riches profiteth not in the day of evil. All right. Your money is not going to profit you in the day of evil, man. Okay, but righteousness delivereth from death. So another lady, she said, yes, I am worried. Another shopper told Alworth, it is hard to be able to make ends meet as it is. It's going to be even worse. Okay, so it's already hard for people to make ends meet. It's already hard for people to afford, especially if you got a family, right? Especially if you got multiple mouths to feed. It's already hard for people to make ends meet. So now that you got this strike going to happen, which is going to increase the prices on food, is going to be even harder. And that's how the effects of these visions, going back to Ezekiel 12, that's how this proverb is going to cease. Because it says, reading on, but say unto them, the days are at hand and the effect of every vision. Okay? The effect of every vision is at hand. So when the Lord talked about famines, when he talked about people are going to be have no pity upon their neighbor, right? Because of a lack of bread. That is now we're seeing the cause of that. We're now seeing why Ezra wrote these things, why he saw these things. Okay, because remember, the Lord told Ezra here in verse 2 of 2nd Ezra 15th chapter, and cause them, I'm gonna start at 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. And the Most High is not a man that he shall lie, right? So if he had these things written, right, and he said that they're faithful and true, they're going to happen. His word does not come back, does not go out void. So when you go down to verse verse 18, it says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods for the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right, for lack of bread. So when you lacking bread, aka when you lacking food, which is what this whole strike could lead to, right? Also, the Lord can have storms happen where it destroys the farming. Okay, all these things is going to lead to a lack of bread, and people are not going to just sit around and say, "Well, I don't got no food, so that's it." No, they're going to go look for where they can get food from, and the easiest and closest, right, the most convenient place is going to go to where somebody else's house, and in that situation, people are not going to go at first to like somebody that they may think is a threat, or it'll be hard to get their food. They're going to go to the weak. They're going to go to the elderly. They're going to go to the women that are without a hedge. These single women living with small children. That's who's going to get robbed. That's who's going to get houses destroyed. Okay. And this is why, and that's how you have another snowball effect of what Isaiah 4:1 taking place. So the Lord is literally having all of these things just happening simultaneously, and it's all leading up into the days that were spoken of aforetime. The hour of temptation, Jacob's trouble, right? All hell breaking loose. And if you're not under the mercy, right? If you're not under the strong tower of the name of Yahawah Ba'Shem Yahawashi, then you're not going to be delivered. You're not going to be able to survive, during that time, man. All right. Only way you're going to be able to survive, and this is not even real surviving, but a lot of people are going to do what? They're going to go down to Egypt for help. Okay. They're going to trust in the strength of Pharaoh, but that's only going to be to your demise. All right. So let's go back to Twitter, and then we just close it out. Just want to see if anything else popped up. So it says Iraq shuts down airspace, air traffic paused at the Israeli airport as Iran fires missiles. Man, I pray that these missiles actually hit something this time. All right, hey, we got to constantly, keep throwing up those prayers as well, man. Pray for the downfall of Babylon the Great, downfall of Edom, right? The Lord judging Amalek. He said he's going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation. All these things, man, is happening is for for the elect's sake. Okay, so continue to throw up those prayers. It says Iran likely to launch another attack on the 48ers. So so the fact that they're doing this, and like I said, Netanyahu, the Lord got his mind in a strong, full steam ahead. So the fact that that Iran attacked, understand that they're going to attack back, right? The 48ers definitely are going to attack back. Now, from that point on, is that gonna, is Iran going to say, okay, you know, we're going to slow it down here. But, you know, remember, there's prophecies else like the charagma got to take place. So we know that this isn't going to get nuclear just yet, but it's all being drawn in, okay? Because as it says in the book of Joel, that what? Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, right? Joel chapter 3, verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. All right. And we have been proclaiming this amongst the Gentiles, right? These other nations, these heathens, the Ishmaelites, the Elamites, the Edomites, the Moabites, they all are Gentiles. And they all got their militaries, but our militaries is in the heavens, right? Yahawashi, but he returns being the leading, you know, leading the army, right? The king of the army. In Revelation 19 chapter, it says that he was on a white horse and the armies of heaven followed him, right? So our military is coming from the heavens, but these militaries on the earth are all what? These heathens militaries, and they're all preparing to fight each other. And that right there lets us know that Yahawashi is, you know, soon to come, because pursuant to 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, Yahawashi is going to make his return while these nations are fighting each other. So if they're already starting to fight, if you're already seeing, you know, headlines of larger, you know, war looming, okay, more nations are gathering up, World War III is already starting. That right there lets us know that, well, if it's starting now, it's not going to stop until Yahawashi, until there's a victor, and that victor is only going to be Yahawashi. It's not going to be the 48ers. It's not going to be, definitely not going to be America. It's not going to be Russia, right? It's not going to be Iran. Yahawashi is the victor of World War III. Okay. So reading a little bit more, it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahawashi. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen around about. And that is why you're seeing all of these nations, right, being drawn over here. Russia, America, you got China, because they're allies, you know, with Russia and Iran. Okay, so their Lord is drawing all these nations over here. Turkey, it says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. And when the harvest is ripe, you don't wait. All right, when the fruit is ripe, you don't wait longer, okay, to pluck the fruit. You gotta pluck it at its peak. And that is why, going back to Habakkuk, where the Lord said, though it tarry, wait for it shall not tarry. He's going to have it happen exactly when it's supposed to happen. And we're seeing that take place right now. Why? Because the harvest is ripe. Okay. So, you know, that's pretty much it. Think we've seen pretty much everything that is taking place. Let me go back. You know, like I said, man, you got to stay watching, man. Look at this. Whew. The Iron Dome missile system appears to be ineffective. Iran was likely hoping none of their missiles will get through, thus removing the need for a serious counterattack. 48ers will likely have to cause real damage to Iran. Look at that. Whew. Hey, call Lord YAHAWAH Shimmy Hawashai, man. Yep, everything is going just as in the script. Yeah, because that's the will of the Lord. Nobody can stay the Lord's hand. His purpose will be accomplished. Right? It says Iran's guard threatened crushing attacks if Israel responds to missiles. So we're gonna see Iran fully ready for any retaliation after missiles launched at the 48ers. Okay. Hey, man. So hey, we at the end. You know, all we got to do is just keep enduring, right? Keep your faith. Iran missiles hitting occupied Jerusalem. 48ers and its coalition force unable to stop this attack. Hey, it's going down, man. It's going down. All right, so, you know, I'm going to end it there, Lord willing. This was edifying, informative unto the elect, giving all praises to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Till next time, Shalom.